I think this is the first official session where both the concerned schools in UAE are present on one platform. I'm very glad to host this session. We were having a different objectives to train the student, and with the direction of principal ma'am. Of course, we need to have a very fine direction towards our student. So in that concern, ma'am suggested, and dear students, I just want to inform you all. We as a teacher had one session with the TP sir. That was amazing, and that moment itself, like, we decided that our students should be benefited from TP sir. About the TP sir, I just give you the brief introduction. Okay, student. I think sir's introduction, like whatever the information I'll give, it will be like a very gist of it. After all, you can just explore his website. I'll tell you about our Dr. TP Shashikumar sir. He's a man with a mission to redefine the learning pattern in the new generation. You know, when he was in grade 8, he was admitted in different special school nearby his town, and from that school also he was expelled under the label of bad student. Can you just imagine? The person then started valuing the education, and then I don't know how many degree, MSc, MPhil, PhD, MBA, LLB, lines of the degrees. After that, of course, having said this great knowledge person, he served the Indian government. He was director in the Calicut University for the academic staff by the UGC. Now, when you grow, you will understand the importance of those positions. But one thing I like to tell you all, he was serving in the cabinet of government of India, and from that position, he took the self-retirement. Can you just imagine? And what could be the reason? Because he had a passion to train the next generation in right way, in developing their education habits and all. So I think having this person in our platform, we are already blessed to have TP sir. And just to introduce more about TP sir, we have his best friend with us, Ma'am Prema, and she will just take it forward. Ma'am, over to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deep, and namaste, Dr. TPS. Fondly my brother, friend, philosopher, guide, mentor, whatever you can name, credible associations. I don't think I have ever had a frequency with anybody in my life as much as I have with Sachit, and fondly I call him. And as Deep rightly said, all of these introduction in terms of what he has done in his past, the pivotal positions that he has held, the dream jobs that he has taken, all of these are nothing at all in front of his great vision. When I say great vision, I think through his camps, he's a very ardent lover of camps. And in his camps, what we're talking about, a camp is not a trekking, but that may be part of it as part of enjoyment. But he has always had bunches of students at his home, and where he puts them through some rigorous, learning, best practices, and then grooms them. I mean, I am not at all a person to talk about it. So this particular session, thank you, Dr. TPS, for once again honoring our request and being with us. It's my ardent appeal to all the parents who are watching it, to the students who are going to benefit from today's session. When we were wondering what is it that we can get from him for our students, I can still recall only a couple of lines that he said. Name it and let the children ask me whatever they want, and I will help them learn it in style. I will help them simplify their problems or challenges and bring it out as if they didn't have it at all. Now that is more than enough. I don't think you need any more tips and practice sessions other than the one that you're going to get now from Dr. TPS. But it shouldn't stop here, my dear children. Please, when he is giving you his address, when he's sharing, furnishing the other details about his camp. Please go and subscribe to his YouTube sessions. They are amazing. Each session is a glory in its own. I mean, you can just watch one YouTube video that he has done, and from that you will get, I don't know how much of knowledge, how much of desire to be somebody in life, how much of more than anything, we all, the very concept of education, that's what I like, what he translates into. So once again, without wasting any of our precious time, and I'm hoping that my children will benefit, thank you once again. It's an honor and pleasure to host our first sister school programs together. So welcome to all the Woodlem Park Dubai students, teachers, and parent fraternity. We will continue like this because journey is all about learning, and learning doesn't have to be just the people you see, but acquaint yourself with the great legends in the world. And without a doubt, I can say we have a great legend amongst us. And God bless you, sir, for everything that you are doing. And I hope this session will definitely leave a memorable mark in all our children's lives. Thank you so much. Over to you, Doctor.
Namaskaram, my dear sister Prema, and maybe though Ratnadeep is not feeling that he is my brother, maybe it takes some more time for some more discussions to happen too. We met approximately 60 days back. It was in December, I think it was on 5th. We had a teachers program in which I was talking about practical teaching, and I'm so glad few of your teachers are with me. They constantly follow me, ask suggestions.
Very good.
They are also showing what they are teaching in the classes. There are quite creative activities your teachers are into, and I'm aware what's happening around. And we were supposed to have this program immediately after that. Anyway, the world is full of, I keep saying, VUCA, VUCA. Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So there are a lot of problems every day, every one of us. But I think, as in some movie, somebody said the show must go on. Everybody has to play their own role. It's always a concern for most of the parents and students, examination, because though we can say that we don't require somebody to test me, I know what I know. Probably examinations are like the steps in the ladder. Unless you take the first step, you cannot reach the next step. The marks are also important because if you don't get good marks, probably you don't get admissions in the best institutions for further academics. It is not necessary that marks are the best criteria for determining how good you are. That is why most of the academic institutions, internationally, they conduct entrance examinations. Otherwise, the qualifying examination test result would have been sufficient enough for giving admissions for higher studies. Basically, they don't have faith on what examination is conducted at the lower level, number one. Number two, we don't have a unique pattern and unique model, unique board, unique government. Especially when it comes to 10th class, we have got hundreds of qualifying examinations. Each state government is different. ICSE, CBSE, call what not. Central government is trying to make this the unique, uniform, but it's impossible. Whatever policy comes, never education can be under one umbrella because there are a lot of reasons, regional reasons, local reasons which cannot be. What is the purpose of education? Purpose of education is to create students in critical thinking, analyzing, improve the emotional intelligence so that they lead a good, better life. You understand the cross culture. I'm sure people like who are studying in Dubai and Ajman have got a greater opportunity in cross culture, which is not there in my village. My students, we have students in my village who are studying in 10th class. They have not gone 20 kilometers away from their village. I was also like that. Up to 10th class, I never have seen outside my village. But more than all these, probably to get a job, you need many other skills like lot of computational skills, analytical reasoning. I was teaching last time when I was meeting the teachers of Woodlem. I was teaching in a university, the management students. But if you look at what I was teaching was only maybe the 10th class syllabus. Though they are management students in graduation and postgraduate level, the basic mathematics is what I am teaching because they don't even know. Not that they did not pass their exams. They also passed their exams in high distinction. Not that the teachers did not train them. But all focus was only for examination. Most of those schools, that's what happens. As far as an academic institution is concerned, they are only concerned about how do my children get good marks. And probably that is one of the criteria to design my students are good. Though one way it is correct, the converse is not true. If I have got good knowledge, I get good marks. But good marks doesn't guarantee good knowledge. The converse is never true. Understand what is important in life is not what you learn. It is not what you learn which is important. It is important what you understand. There is a lot of difference between learning and understanding. If I understood the problem, I can solve it in my own way. But what happens in today academics is somebody will tell you the problem and they will also give you the solution and you learn it and reproduce it in exams. Teachers are also very happy because you have written the way they asked you to write it. I remember when I was doing my masters in mathematics, when we had problems, I used to solve in my own method. We had only 10 students and we had 10 teachers. So we have 1-to-1 actually. So I remember teachers used to call me and then make me to sit beside them and then they will ask me to explain my answer sheet to them because they know what I wrote is correct. The steps are perfect. But they don't know how I reached from one step to the next step. It was my own proof. That's how I became a researcher. So when you do research, you create your own answers. I'm sure no teachers. Yesterday I was giving a class for my civil service students who are aspiring for All India service. So I told them, don't write your own answers. Write what the teachers expect you to write. Otherwise, even in civil service, you cannot get good rank. Only probably at postgraduate and research level you can do that. So it's essential for children to understand and also to learn. Both are different. You have to learn step by step as if. So writing examination is a big skill. Understanding is a different skill. Writing examination is a very crucial, critical learning mechanism. And understand, so far your teachers who knows you were evaluating you. When you write board exam, it is not your teachers, it's somebody else. So they look at it very specifically and it's essential. I think all of you have got a blog from me, 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers. That's probably one of the best blog or in terms of maximum number of people who used it. So examination preparations, for that 30 points are given for students. From today count, many people keep asking me, when I probably maximum number of radio shows happened in Gulf from me. Even every Tuesday I am coming in Radio Asia on Science Curiosity, Shastra Kautugam, Malayalam program. Every Tuesday I am there. Last week I was talking about Mars mission. Before that I was talking about Mammoth. I don't know next week what I will speak. Anyway, some or other items will come from it. Most of them, their parents also knows me. They keep contacting, and then one question all the time: how to get good marks? I will always refer them to this blog. What is the blog says? Anyway, you have an examination coming. If you don't study now, those subjects you can never study in your life. It's like you are going for a picnic and you have a beautiful show in front of you and you are getting back to the bus, the transport. I'm sure you will have a last look at it because in your life you don't know whether you will come back there or not. All the subjects which you are learning is like that because you don't know whether you will come back to that subject, that textbook, that notebook, that questions, that answers in your life. Most of us will not. Most of the people will not get a chance to look at it. So it's the last chance for you to read. Therefore, I suggest you read that. And anyway, you have spent a lot of time, lot of money, your parents' effort, your effort, the teacher's effort, and this is the right time to encash it in terms of making benefit out of it. Everyone cannot get good marks. There are average, poor performers also are there. So, how do you improve? Though you are an average student, how do you improve your marks? Is a basic question. And there are tricks around it. Assume I have to clean 10 rooms. Where do I start? Is my basic question. So it's equivalent to saying I have got 10 subjects to study. Where do I start studying? So far if you have not done. Or maybe I will have a look at it, all the rooms, and then see which is clean. So the cleanest one, probably I will have to spend 10 minutes to make it look better. So what do? I spend 10 minutes and then tell somebody else I finished 1. Out of 10 is over. The same way, you look at all the subjects and then find out which subject is easy for you to finish. Maybe 1 or 2 subjects you can finish. Then you say that I finished 3 subjects. Done. Now you feel happy because already you are 1/3 of the job is done. Though 1/3 is not done, you get a feeling that you have done 1/3. There are some other students. You cannot tell students this is the way to do it because there are some other students who feel the toughest job is to be done first. So what do? They look at the room which is not at all clean and invest maximum time there and clean it first. They feel that the biggest job is done first. The toughest job is done first. The next ones are easier. So it all depends on your method. So there is no single solution for everybody's problem. It all depends on how do you look at your problems. So the choice is yours. But what is to be done? So how do you do this? You look at all the rooms and then see which room is not clean, which room is not clean better and how much time you require. So look at all the subjects. In a subject, go by chapter wise, write down all of them and then make a beautiful table. Evaluation table. You are evaluating yourself. In mathematics, chapter number 1, I know 100%. Chapter number 2, I know only 20%. 80% is to be studied. So how much time I require? Don't write number of months, number of weeks, number of days required. Write number of hours required. You have to be very, very, very specific. Go narrow. So write down I want 10 hours to study. Likewise, go every subject and write down. Add all the number of hours. And see how much time is required to finish your studies 100%. But don't put your timetable till the last day. Just before the day the examination starts, give a 1 week gap. So before 1 week, you are finishing all the subjects in 100% as of today's evaluation. It may be changing. You are not going to write exam to conduct yourself to find out how much you know, but make a rough estimate. It may be totally wrong, doesn't matter. Make an estimate. That's essential. If I want to improve my strength, my weight, I will have to measure. If I have to take a pressure tablet, I must know what is my pressure today. If I have to take a tablet for fever, I must know what is my temperature today. If I have to prepare for examination, I must know how much I know today. That's simple as that. And it is not that teachers conducting examination, model examination will help you also. Because all that model examination is only to check what you have not studied, not what you have studied. Probably most of the examination is not to test you what you have studied. It's a random selection in statistics. Assume that I have to test something. Many products are done. I am picking up something and checking whether it is correct or not. Suppose food is prepared. Idlis are made. And I have to test one to check whether it is cooked properly. So I am checking. If that is not cooked, what do I do? Again, I will cook it well. Similarly, if somebody is not writing good examination, marks are not coming, the teachers are supposed to cook them well. Give them more input so that they will become better. Assume you could answer everything and teacher believes that you have know everything. That's not correct. Because the questions are only chances, random. It doesn't guarantee that who gets 100% knows everything. Who doesn't get 100% don't know anything also. It's true with any examination in the world. So what is essentially to be done? Understand yourself, how much you know, and then what is to be done. Now this is not the time for you to understand the subject. Don't look at it. You must know how to learn for writing examination. Understand how much time you have at your disposal. Keep sufficient time for sleep. Don't reduce your sleeping time. 8 hours to sleep, 4 to 6 hours for other routine activities. Still 12 hours is only used for rest of the 12 hours has to be studied time. So 12 hours probably next 2-3 months. Now this is March, April, 2 months. Yeah, that's good enough. 1 month is good enough because 30 days multiplied by 10 hours is 300 hours to study. That's a large time for finishing every. If somebody doesn't know anything in that subject also, if you start studying, you can get 100 out of 100. It's not a big problem. Getting 100% marks in examination is very, very simple. But there are some small tricks how to prepare for examinations. And more than that, I will tell you, your answer sheets has to be beautiful. Now assume that you study well. If your answer sheet is not perfect, then most of the teachers get fed up looking at the answer sheet. So I keep saying, assume that this is your answer sheet. Examination hall is the best place in the world as far as I am concerned. That is because in any class when you sit, you have got somebody nearby you. The Prime Minister will never sit as if you are sitting in a classroom. Prime Minister always have a lavish space. 2 seats, both sides will be vacant. And every student who is writing examination is given such a seat in any place. That means you are a VVIP in the exam hall. What you can do is you can stretch your hands and see whether somebody is touching you. If somebody is close by, you can call the teacher and say that this fellow is close to me, move him away. Nowhere you will get such a lavish life. And I'll tell you, so far all the teachers were calling you and you have to run to them. This is the only place where you can call your teachers, they will come to you. It's a nice place where you can punish your teachers. Don't even have to call. You just slap on the desk. Immediately the teacher will come. As if they are in a restaurant, they will ask you what you want with a lot of politeness in them. And you say, I don't want anything, go. They will just go. They will not even scold you. This is the only place where they cannot scold you, right? So you are like a king. And all these years they were asking you to write and read. Now this is the right time where you write and ask them to read. You are asking teachers, I am writing, you read. So in all my examinations, I enjoy like this. And I used to write lavish because this is the only place you get papers free of cost. Wherever you have to buy papers, you will have to pay money. Here, once you pay money, lavish papers can be used. Only pen you have to use your ink. So I used to have 3-4 pen. Immediately, as soon as I get, what I do is lavishly give a beautiful margin. Beautiful margin. Right? Minimum 1.5 inch. And then on the top also you give a margin. The side also you give a margin. And bottom also you give a margin. So the number of papers which you can use will become maximum, and you are writing only inside that. You don't have to fold it like this. I am showing it folding because I cannot show you drawing that easily. But draw if you get time, because you get the answer sheet first, then the question comes later. So that's a time when you have to draw. I'm sure with a margin your answer sheet looks so beautiful. And second one, most of the time when you get extra paper, you will have to pin it here and then stitch it. But then don't write anything in that corner, because when teachers evaluate, they will have to see this. When they see, what will happen? They will have to see the question number with a lot of difficulty. That will actually give them a headache. So don't ever write in that corner. And why do you give the other margin on the right side? Because when you write behind, that margin should hide this tying, so that you are not hiding anything. These are simple, but I will tell you, teachers are fed up looking at a lot of answer sheets, and anything which is seen like this, they will be so glad. Beautiful. When anything is beautiful, definitely they will give good marks. Right? And why people lose marks even if they do all this? Assume there is an essay which you have to write. Answer any 5 questions is the option given to you. And for the first question to the last question, 5 questions, all of them have got 20 minutes say. Each one of them is 10 marks. I am giving some example. Now in 10 marks, 20 minutes you are supposed to write, decide how many pages. Suppose I am supposed to write 4 pages. That means 1 page, 2.5 marks. That's why I am dividing. 4 pages, I got 10 marks. Now what will happen generally for students? In the first question they will write 4 pages. The last 5th question they will write only 1 page, 1.5 page. Because whatever they lost time. Second, they lost patience. And they took first preference for writing where they know the answer. And the evaluator immediately understands. If I have given for 4 pages 10 marks, if the answer is only 1 page, definitely the teachers will give you 2 marks only. This is a normal psychology. It is not I am talking from blah 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 from this. There are a lot of answer sheets where people evaluate taking lot of time. And I was the director for academic staff college during a evaluation time. I asked all the teachers to get their answer sheets, and I used to look at the answer sheet and don't even read any subject. I will tell them you can give this much marks. There was only plus or minus few marks difference. So they used to ask me, sir, how do you say this has got this much marks? I said, looking at it, you will know how much marks you will get. The look and feel is most important. You spend half an hour for evaluating. I will spend 1 minute or 2 minutes for evaluating and tell you the student is good or bad. That's that simple. So everyone is capable of doing it, but you need a little bit of training. And then what you do? Adjust your time. If I have this much time for examination, 2.5 hours, you have got a lot of model papers, write down each question, how much in pattern you already know, how much time I require. Assume I want to do cycling, slow cycle race. What do? Before the test, before the competition, I keep practicing myself. Similarly, before examination, every day take one subject, take one model paper, write examination at home as if you are sitting and writing in the exam hall. Without a break, without going out, without moving away from your place, keep writing. Practice it, practice it, practice it. How many times? As many times as you can. This is what is to be done. Don't look at the textbook. Don't look at the notebook. Just evaluate. Then what is to be done? Give this answer sheet to one of your classmates who is a best friend of you. Probably teachers don't have time for you. If they have time, give it to them. Create your own answer sheet and tell that, ma'am, I have written like this. Please evaluate and then tell me where I went wrong. If you give your answer sheet to one of your friend, say XYZ student, he or she may be a better student than you. Maybe a not that good student, but still they will also do the same thing. If you are listening to this lecture together, I am sure those students also will have to give this answer sheet to somebody else. So what will happen? You will get the answer sheet of the best student. So everybody is reading somebody's answer sheet, which you cannot do it in the exam hall. In whole life you cannot do it. What is the best method to improve? Assume I have to improve my cooking. I will have to taste what is prepared by somebody else and ask them how did you prepare it, so that I will improve my preparation. Same way, you give your answer sheet to somebody else, let them read. When they read, what is to be done? Ask your friend to evaluate your answer sheet. So, if I am evaluating my friend's answer sheet, who am I now? I am the teacher, I am evaluating my friend's answer sheet. All of you should have a different color ink pen with you. Keep a red ink pen. It's a beautiful chance for you, I'll tell you, to evaluate your friend's answer sheet. You will become very strict. You will look at points are there, whether there is a mistake, all that you will see, and then be very, very, very strict. Wherever there is mistake, don't evaluate, do correction. Evaluation and correction is different. What is to be done? Do correction. If somebody has done something wrong, mark it there and then write in red ink and then give it to them. So if somebody has given an answer sheet in black or blue ink, you have to give it back with the full red. Show them totally wrong. You are not good. Keep doing it for 3 subjects. All the friends' answer sheet you keep evaluating, and thoroughly you will learn answers for all the questions. This is the best method to learn. That's why I keep saying peer groups learning is not discussing. Peer groups learning is not studying together. Peer groups learning is evaluating your friends' answer sheets. And then what you should do? You tell them these questions are not important. There is another beautiful question which you have to answer. You can do it digitally also today. Create a question paper from any subject which you are studying and then send across to your friends. Tell them if you can answer it. That could be a question which you don't know the answer. That could be a question where you know the answer. Both are possible. And others will answer it and give you. Then what you do? Read it. I'm sure you will not get sleep when you evaluate your friend's answer sheet. When you are reading, you may feel sleepy. I have seen children studying hours together, because if I can evaluate somebody's answer sheet, I think I will never sleep. Probably teachers will get sleep when evaluating students, but students will not feel sleepy when they are evaluating their friend's answer sheet. Do you think there is another better method to study your subjects? Is there any better teachers who can prepare a beautiful question paper other than what you can prepare for your friend? I'm sure you will prepare the toughest question paper. You know that study becomes complete. The study becomes complete when you can prepare good question papers from the textbook which you read. The critical thinking, lot of analytical skill, understanding the subject will become part of it. And I will tell you, you will never forget those questions you prepare, those questions which are prepared by your friends for which you have given an answer, those questions, answers which you are evaluated, you will never forget. So what will happen when you go to exam hall? Oh, this question, this already I answered 3 times. This question, this is only what I prepared and then given to somebody else. All the questions will become so familiar to you. Exam writing 2.5 hours you can finish in 1.5 hours. I think I don't have to tell you anything extra than this. I thought I'll speak half an hour and then listen to you more time. I can speak hours together on this, because probably maximum sessions which I gave in my life could be only on writing examinations. I remember in Hyderabad, from here close to Bangalore in Andhra Pradesh, I had a session wherein my engineering college students, I told them, go and get your 10th class students who are studying in your alumni. Go back to your schools and then find out the present 10th class students. Get them. I will give a class. Physically those days. I remember in 2010, few of my students went. And my engineering college students were from 37 different schools. Anandapur. They went to all their schools. And the people who wanted to attend my exam preparation classes were 3,600 children at a stretch in one single place. So I arranged it in a big Maidan, public place. And I remember students were sitting on top of the buildings in the neighboring because there was no seat available. So what I am saying is, when you talk about examination, how to write examination, lot of takers are there. But I am sure nobody would have told you like this. Because I understand from the teacher's point of view, I understand in your future studies how is it helping. I understand the psychology of children who will enjoy, otherwise they don't. They get sleep. And assume that you are getting sleep, wash your face as many times as you can. In my time and all, when I used to get sleep, I used to keep my legs also in water. You don't have to do it because you are all staying in AC, air condition, don't do that. It will also create some problems for you. We were not that fabulous situations as you are all now. But washing your face will help you, and drink a lot of water. Always keep water bottle beside you. Because serious reading half an hour is equal to walking 3 hours. I am sure anybody who walks 3 hours will definitely have water in between. If you are not drinking water, that means you are not studying. And if you are drinking water, definitely you cannot sleep. You know the reason. Hydraulic pressure will force you not to sleep that easily. So your body will also be clean. The neurons will start functioning better when your body is perfect. If you have a lot of problems, you cannot. There could be a lot of small diseases coming to you. Especially during examination, you get headache, stomach pain, body pain, all that will come. Understand, these are all psychological. Most of the problems are psychological. There are students who could not study well because they had dandruff also. So many problems, I have seen problems. When somebody says my student is not able to study, board exam is coming, model exam was very bad, I just tested and I found that the hair is not clean. Suppose you don't clean your body internally and externally, you will not get concentration in studies. So it's essential to be physically, emotionally, intellectually, socially and spiritually active to perform well, especially during any evaluation which is stressful for you. If you are not stressful, take it as light. Don't listen to anybody's lecture. Decide the way you are studying and do as best as you can. I only want to tell you all the best. Look at my blog, 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers. If you send a WhatsApp, probably I can sell you. Otherwise, I am sure you may not get many blogs. 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers. Exam preparation. What teachers' roles and parents' roles are also written there. Okay, this is what in brief I want to tell you. I did not explain all what I wrote there. I only picked up few points from my memory and then telling you this. Probably when question comes or maybe we want to discuss further, we could invest more time on this. Thank you.
Indeed, sir, thank you very much. But I'm sure, like now, from my end as a teacher, what I feel when student prepare the examination, of course, peer pressure will be there. But what I've seen now, the social pressure is also there. Normally, the trend is a little bit changed now. When I was discussing with the parent last couple of years, parents are not creating the pressure directly, but indirectly, like, in the family, if somebody is scoring good, cousin or any other friend or friend's son or something like that, then that pressure comes to the student. When I was discussing with my students in grade 10 here in Woodlem Park, this type of the pressure they don't have. But then too, this preparation during the examination, one environment is there. It's a grade 10. It's a board exam. I want to tell them, okay, these papers are very standard and we need not to take stress up to that. So I wanted my students should be, enlightened on that also, like how from you, like how these examinations are planned and taken in consideration of well-being of the student, not to stress the student.
I'm sure if you look at 5 old question papers, you will see a lot of commonality there. Syllabus is not changing because preparation of question paper is a tough job. If a teacher has to prepare a new question, they will have to look at the time taking for answering and number of pages, the marks to be given. So generally teachers won't do, and then there is nothing new in the syllabus. Therefore question papers are also, there is nothing new except in some of the creative writing places and all that. Otherwise one and the same. And understand, assume you want to get rid of the pressure from parents. I'll tell you, it's joke, don't take it very serious. I keep telling all the students have to teach whatever they are learning to their parents also. The best method to learn, if you don't have your friends to teach, what you should do? Invest some time in teaching your parents. Oh, this subject is what I learned today, and tell the question and tell the answers also to your parents. Okay? And then what do is, if parents are really concerned about students, they should also look at very seriously what the student is doing. Give the question paper to your parents and ask them, write if you can. I am sure no parents will trouble you from tomorrow onwards. They will tell you, better you are doing very good. I am so happy. I don't want to involve. Right? Because if I know how to drive, I must know. My father also should know how to drive. Right? If I prove that I know cooking, and if my father is telling I am not cooking perfectly well, mother is telling I am not cooking well, you will ask him, show me how can you cook, I'm sure it is not that easy. Probably telling is very easy, but doing is not very easy. I'll tell you, I have done it. When I was teaching in colleges, when my students are writing exam, I also used to sit down and write examination. And I feel always, if as a teacher, if I don't write it and I prove that I can get 100 out of 100, I am a bad teacher. I must not do this job. That's what I keep telling my students. So always it's a challenge. Take it very seriously. But don't get worried. And no parents, I'm sure if you are taking good effort and there is a failure, parents will never scold you. If you are not taking effort, probably they will. Second one, if you don't perform well, probably they will have to pay a lot of money. That's only the difference. Otherwise, they will have to invest more time, more money to hunt a place for you, to put you in the best education. And then second one, I'll tell you, 10th class examination is only to give you 11th and 12th admission in one of those schools. But the best school in India, best school in South India also, they did not perform perfectly well because the school is very good. So school doesn't guarantee you. Only when you write 11th and 12th, probably it needs little more effort. Otherwise, I think 10th class is only to get an admission in one of the schools. So don't have to be too much worried. Yeah, anything serious?
Students, now this is earnest appeal to you all. Please use this opportunity to ask your doubts, questions, and teachers, you also can pitch in if you have any concern. You can unmute yourself. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, namaste.
Yeah.
Sahil.
So you said that you have to be prepared spiritually also for giving exams. So
Yeah.
how is it possible?
See, for some people it is essential. Assume I don't know driving and then I have to drive. What will happen? I need somebody beside me who will help me.
Yeah.
Assume I don't know driving, or I don't have a license to drive, or I don't know swimming, little bit only I know, and I have to jump in water. I need somebody who is closely with me, who knows swimming. Anyway, in examination, you cannot get anybody else beside you to help you. So that is what the faith which you have. That faith can be in yourself. Understood? Hridaya guhara madhye kevalam brahma matram. Inside your hridaya there is a God, the concept of God. I have trust in me. That trust comes to you when you are spiritually higher. Sometimes religious bhakti will take you close to spirituality. Probably you have some mentor, you have a guru. They will help you out. Assume you are a person who is going to church, you are a person who is going to mosque, you are going to temple. Maybe you have a puja room in your house. Dedicate some time, invest some time. Take blessings from your parents. How does it help for writing my maths exam? Don't ask me this. There is great thing which is called a biorhythm. The mother's temperament will help every child to do well. I have seen if children have tension directly proportional to the mother's tension. Father doesn't worry. Even if they worry, it doesn't affect children. It's a great science which talks about any small vibrations in mother's mind, manas, will influence the children. So how do you take care of that? Take blessings, sleep on their lap. So spiritual also has got a social and emotional quotient. Spiritual quotient, emotional quotient and social quotient. All of them have to work together.
Yeah.
So always take your mother's blessings. Always take your mother's blessings.
Sir,
Yeah.
binaural beats help in focusing for study.
Again, once more.
Binaural beats.
Yeah, definitely.
I have one more question, sir, in chat box. Shazad has asked this question. I'll just read for you. He asked, sir, I sit to study maths, but after some time studying a little, I get bored. Then I go for science or other subject, which I don't get bored. What could be the reason how I should solve this?
See, mathematics is actually like a tool. If I only have a hammer and I don't know where to hit, holding the hammer will be a boring job. You will enjoy hammer only when you know how to hit. Got it? So mathematics is to be understood with applications. Unfortunately, most of the teachers don't understand where is it applied. It is not their fault. It is how the textbooks are written. Only when you come to higher level, you understand, oh, this maths is used here. Whatever you are studying in 11th and 12th and 10th class, mathematics, same thing for engineering repeated. In first year engineering, first semester, itself out of 100 students, only 4 students will pass. That's a Kerala statistics. In the whole India, 7 students are only passing, taking care of the whole best universities and IITs and all that. That is basically because syllabus is same, but the orientation is slightly different. So every mathematics problem, when you look at it, understand where is it used. Probably you may not understand that. You will have to do little bit of extra learning. But I will tell you, this is not the right time for that. If you like it, then you can sit for hours together, because my subject is mathematics. I love that. Second, now what you should do? Yes, that is where I said mathematics solving problem may be easier, and if you are bored, you will take more time. If you are interested, you will take less time. That's only what will happen. Any job is like that. If you are interested, you can do it faster. If it's boring, you take more time. So what you do now? You should have 2 friends who are sitting beside, and then tell, this problem let me solve, you also solve. Let me see who is going to do it first. And whoever does first, explain that to the other person. Mathematics studying becomes easier only when you have a group in which the competition, the time is the factor in which you solve the problem. Anybody can solve maths problem. But some people will take more time, some people will take less time. So competition for who is going to do it first will be the best method to improve your skill of doing mathematics and also having more interest, because alone doing becomes little problem. So it's like you are holding a hammer, the other fellow is holding a hammer, you don't have a nail to hit, you are hitting each other. That could be the best method. Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
It's like in the first exam you study well, like all subjects you equally distribute the marks, like study, like to score marks you score good marks. Like there will be one or two subjects which you won't score good marks. Like it would be bad, maybe okay. But in the next time, the subjects you score good marks will be bad, and the subject which you scored bad marks will be so good. Did you understand?
Yeah, I got it. I got what you are asking, but I don't agree with what you are saying.
I feel like this, like
See, there are good students. There are good students who score good in every examination, every subject. When at your class, in 10th class, for me, I was bad in every subject, equally bad. I never did good in one subject or the other subject, including language, subject, everything was bad for me. Not one exam, every exam was bad for me. But when I started studying, every exam was good for me. See, it's like I am a good cook. I know the trick of cooking. Every food which I cook will be good. If I am a good driver, the toughest road and the best road I drive smoothly. It is not that I am a driver who knows only driving in the smooth place. And first time I drive nice. Second time I will not drive nice. That's not correct. That's why I am saying if you want to improve, best thing is take it serious first. And don't be too serious so that you become upset. See, always any performance, performance, you need stress. If I want to do something good, I need little preparation. Any preparation is adding stress to you. But don't make stress as tension. Tension is not performing. Stress is performing. So you must understand, it is balancing your effort, understanding I must be very serious. But you don't become very serious and then become collapsed. That should not happen. So it's a balance what is to be done. And that performance, you have to have skill so that you take it very light. How do you improve your skill? That's why I keep on saying, keep on writing examination. If you keep writing examinations and you know that you are going to write examination for the questions prepared by your friends, many people are writing questions and giving to you, you are answering. One exam you did not do well, second you did not do well, I am sure. Take it as a challenge. Third one I am going to do well. You keep doing it. I told you when you get the question paper, you know, oh, this I wrote it, this I wrote it, this I wrote it. That feeling will come to you. So it needs more practice. For such people who are fluctuating, what is required? It's like just like a luck. No, it should not be left to luck. You must practice. It's like I don't know how to throw and then make a mango to fall. Maybe once it hits and then the mango is down, that doesn't mean I am a person who knows how to throw and then get mango down. No, I must keep on practicing until every examination I do perfectly well. I must keep on practicing. I was not a good student in the school days and maybe plus 1 plus 2 level, but then what I did is what I am telling you now. Those days even buying paper was not that easy for me. I used to buy newspaper, old newspaper, which was, I was studying in Cochin University, so I remember I used to go to Madhrubhumi, Manorama and then get papers 10 kg. The newsprint waste is the what I used to write for my practicing. So how many pages I would have written in my life? Maybe, I have to say maybe 500 kg is what I wrote. It is not in terms of pages. I used to buy paper weighing. That lavish. That's how you should practice. So Adil, keep on practicing. You will do well. 100% you will do well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't give to chances.
can you unmute yourself and ask the question? Okay. So he's asking the question, maybe some technical microphone error. So can you ask, the time management problem is after the classes, tuition and homeworks, and I got barely some time to revise myself. So how can I find out the time for it, or what is the solution for it?
See, if tuitions are not clarifying your doubts, attending your problem, and if it is what they think is important is being explained, and you have no questions to ask and clarify, going for tuition is a waste of time. For good students, tuition is waste. For bad students, it is waste of money also. And no tuition teacher has given any good scoring marks in any subject to anybody. No good teachers will take tuitions. No teachers will take tuition if you are a good teacher. No good student of mine will go to some tuition center. Then it is a shame for me as a teacher. If I am teaching mathematics and my students are going for tuition, that means you are certifying that you are a bad student. And you are a bad teacher for your students. If I am giving food in my house and then somebody is going and eating in a hotel, your mother is not preparing good food. That's only what I can say. So it's a worst practice. One. So at least during examination, focus on, you can go for clearing doubts. That's nothing wrong. Assume that I used to go. When I was a bad student, I was forced to go for tuitions by my brother. And then what I did was, I prepared few questions and went to the teacher and said, I want answer for this. Then they said, no, I don't know this. And I said, you don't know this, then why are you taking tuition? Understood? So I never paid money to any tuition teachers. They never tolerated me. I never tolerated them. If they know something and they keep talking about it, which you already know, or which is not important, why do you go for tuitions? That's a place. Tuition is actually, or coaching is something where I have some deficiency that needs to be patched up. Then you will enjoy. It is true, most of the parents are sending for tuitions for one thing which they think that is the order of the day. And somebody is going, they should also go. Number one. Number two, they don't study at home, so therefore I am sending somewhere else. Instead of that, I am sure the parent should prepare beautiful biryani and call the bright students in their house. If your son is not well, daughter is not well, get their friends at home, give them beautiful food, nice food, tell them to prepare question paper, 3 examinations before biryani. And 1 more examination before the ice cream. Finished. 4 examinations. You write exam, whoever gets more will eat more. Have some competition like this. I have got a lot of children, I will tell you, they really enjoy it like this. Many children, they were not at all performing well. Parents had a lot of complaints. They said, my student is only getting 20%, is now doing MBBS. I can make you children to talk to those students who got benefit from my trick of biryani. And I will tell you, it worth. When my children were studying, we used to get a lot of students. I will get the best student who knows this answer. Then before the food is provided, I will tell them, answer this question, then you can have food. Finished. I am sure. Learning has to be some enjoyment, not tuitions. And time management is not what is to be done. If you prepare yourself, assess yourself, where you have to invest time, your activity is being managed. Otherwise, somebody else is managing your knowledge, somebody else is managing where you have to invest time. Even if you go to classes or tuition center, they will decide what you have to study. No, that should not happen. Now, before examination, you must evaluate where I need to focus now. So, therefore, your individual time you have to decide. So, every student needs individual time. That's it. And probably 8 hours sleep. I told you 4 hours personal time, 12 hours. The rest 12 hours you study for next 30 days. Every one of you will get full marks. And if you don't understand any of the problem, any of the questions in any subjects, 9447437948. Don't send me questions and then give me the answer. I will not give. If you ask me to explain how to approach this, I will explain to you. So that you learn it, how to do yourself. No issue at all.
Yes, students, teachers, any more concern?
Why haven't the girls, no doubts?
Generally, girls are good. They know everything.
Really? Oh, I have a lot of very vocal students. I can't see them. But see, question does not mean he's not asking you to ask your doubts in terms of, okay, so what should I ask? No. You have come this far, and I'm sure many of the things that Dr. TPS said has related to our lives. As a teacher, I mean, as a principal sitting here, I'm only going down my memory lane and wish I had somebody like this. Maybe I would not have been the chosen this field. I could have gone into something. So it is very important that we are vocal sometimes to understand and make use of such opportunities. Where is Zia Bashir? Where are these girls who are very vocal and want to talk? Can I hear you all, please? Come on. I can see your names here.
You can take an example from science, maths, physics, social science, any subject which you want, and ask me questions
like
also.
This? Take anything is what he's saying and ask. Yeah. Sonali, are you wanting to say something? No.
Adil will share the number at the end of session. Okay, sir has given the number. We'll share with you all. Adil is chatting the boys and girls again. If you are allowed to unmute yourself, if you have any concern, you can speak. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how to be consistent for something?
See, if you want to be consistent, what you require is you need good mood. How do you create good mood? When I know that there is a defined purpose in which I am convinced. If I am convinced with my purpose, I am sure you will have a good attitude. And that good attitude is what is essential. Attitude means a lot of things. Consistent means if you are not a good student, you consistently want to be a good student. Consistency sometimes is not good. You will have to change your consistency. Assume that I am not a good performer. I am not a good student. I like to sleep throughout. Maybe 14 hours, 15 hours I sleep. You want to consistent in that? No, you should change. So what I am saying, being consistent is not what the question should be. For a good student, that's fine. For a bad student, not being consistent, change for a better performance. That is essential. That's what we are telling. You need a little bit of some knocking from somebody. That could be your friends. Sometimes I say that in psychology we have got a rubber band treatment. Assume somebody is just sitting without doing anything. We keep saying you need to wear a rubber band, stretch it well and leave it. It's like an alarm. Understood? It's essential. What do I do sometimes if I don't have good mood? I am looking at some movie, or maybe I am listening to some music. I am doing something else for my pleasure time. Immediately or before that, after I am realizing that I am doing something else, I keep an alarm. I'll tell my Google, call me after 20 minutes. Just before the session I did it. So what I did was I told, call me at after 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes I got an alarm which says, it's a time for you to be ready. So I'm sure you need somebody calls you. If you don't have parents, friends, you will have to set your own alarm. So one method is to keep an alarm. Second one is write yourself. What is your goal? Which school you want to get admission? How much mark you want to get? When I physically do things, I'll remember I went to one of the remotest schools in Thrissur. Before examination like this, generally February, January, December they start calling. I remember I asked them, how many of you will get A plus in all subjects was the question which I asked. I cannot do that here because I am not seeing you. Immediately few students raised hands. I counted, it was only 6. I did all this and then asked them at the end of the program, how many of you will get A plus in all subjects? There were 420 children, more than 300 children raised their hands and said we will get it. So it's a confidence level which you have. So you are raising yourself, including all the teachers, parents, everybody will tell, yeah, you may get 1 A plus or 2 A plus. But then you must keep writing, I am going to get A plus in all subjects. These are my scores for the next examination. Write it down in front of you and that becomes your goal. You need to have a goal, otherwise you will not. No running race is created without a last ribbon to test you. So you have a goal, create your goal, write it down. That is essential. Write it in big papers and all the good scoldings, all the best advices which you keep on getting, write it in a beautiful paper and paste it in front of your study table. And if somebody is going to give you those advices, you tell, I have already written, I am reading it every day morning. Don't waste your time, don't waste my time. I am sure there will be a lot of people, including parents, keep on telling you the same thing. It's actually noisy and it disturbs you. So don't give chance for that, don't wait for that. You write yourself and tell them, I know all this, I am reading it every day. And sincerely look at it. Because hearing sometime, there are two things. One is self-discipline and another one is the discipline imposed by somebody else. When self-discipline is enjoyable. When somebody else force you to be disciplined, it is annoying. Everybody, to anybody it is like that. So don't give a chance for somebody else to advise you. You keep advising yourself. That's what I did. I keep telling everybody. You write yourself what are the scoldings which you get. Write all of that. And then keep it there. Children, did I look very serious and then you are not opening up because I am very serious? No, I am not at all. Yeah.
Sir,
Mizal, yeah.
yes. Sir, you talked about writing down one goal and focusing on it.
Yeah.
That is the main problem for me because I have like so many different fields that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
For example, I am interested in space science, but I'm also interested in architectural engineering.
Yeah.
Like so many fields I like to be doing together. So how can I reach to a conclusion?
Mizal, in your life you cannot see anybody else like me who has got interest in variety of things in my life. I am a space scientist, I am a mathematician, I am a poet, I am a good cook, I am a crazy driver, I love music, I love dance, I love art, I am a carpenter, I do farming, I do many things. But today, now for Maisel, exam is the first hurdle. Only focus on that. Think about anything else after that. Don't even decide whether I want to take social science, maths, physics, chemistry, biology, IT, any subject which I want to take in my life. All that can be later. Sometimes you need a short time focus so that later you will be able to think and decide what is to be done. And I will tell you, it is not different. A good architect is one who designs well. My last lecture, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, every day I have got 2-3 lectures, so I keep forgetting, was for one of the universities in Warangal, and that subject is design thinking. The design thinking is very essential for an architect. And who am I? I am a scientist. A scientist in space also require a lot of design thinking. Architecture is a technique which designs something, and same can be applied in many things in your life. So all these tastes will go together, mix together in your professional life. Don't think that it is a bad thing to have interest in many things. If you have interest in many things, that shows you are a person whose brain is working perfectly. If somebody does say that no, I don't have interest in anything, that means his brain is not at all working. If somebody says they have got interest only in maths but not in physics, it only means the physics teacher was bad, maths teacher was good. If somebody says love physics but maths I don't like, reverse. Physics teacher was good, maths teacher was not good. Therefore, if anybody doesn't like any subject, talk to me for 10 minutes. I will make you to love that subject. Therefore, every subject you should have interest, every subject you should perform well. Up to 10th class examination, general, every subject should be your liking. So, Mizal will do very good in all subjects if you are a person who loves many things.
Sir,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Zia.
Good afternoon, sir. So my name is Zia Bashir.
Yeah,
I'm studying grade 10A.
yeah.
Sir, I have a confidence that if when I'm studying, I can score up to 85 to 90%.
Not good.
But I'm not this. No, like sir,
No, not
but
good.
I'm not like this book person, sir. I don't like sitting and reading and like studying like that way.
Don't read.
Like I'm much more creative person. Like I like doing it creative and taking things like that. I don't like sitting in front of this book and studying, sir.
Yeah.
So I can't concentrate properly on my studies, sir.
Yeah.
What should I do for that?
See, Zia, don't tell that 85-90% is good. No. 100% is the only good thing. Now talk to me. We will have a Google Meet together. We will prove in front of all these people. You will sit and read and you will get 100 out of 100. That's my guarantee. Take it as a challenge.
Yes, sir. So like I like studying things creatively. Like
Better, that's what I'm saying. You are a creative student. What should be done is look at your textbook, and that is for such students only I spoke today. I know this lecture is not required for students who are too bad. Neither this is required for the best students. The whole lecture was for people like Zia only. Because this is a common problem with most of the teenagers today. You understood? What is lacking is not the ability to learn. What is lacking is the patience. What is lacking is you are confident that these are all simple subjects. It's very simple. I don't even have to read it. I will get it because the subjects are like that. It is so simple. It is not at all tough. But they feel if I get good marks or bad marks, how does it matter? Anyway, I am going to get admission in the so and so school. And not best performers did well. You have a lot of best stories to tell. Bad performers also improved. Now Ratnadeep also what he did was while introducing he said this was a bad fellow and he got into all this. Now this gives a bad message to some people. If I don't perform well also I will become a space scientist. No, it's not true. Once upon a time when I was a student it was happy, but today if you don't get good marks you don't get into good schools. But getting into good schools doesn't guarantee you perform well. Got it? You know which is the best school in India? Anybody here? Tell me which is the best school in India. Don't tell your lame school and all is good, no? Park Lame and all that. Don't tell me in India which is the best school.
Sir, by school, do you mean like grade 1 to 12 or after?
The best people, the richest people, the famous people, everybody goes there and the fees is so large. You cannot imagine in the whole world they don't pay that much money to them. And facility wise, teaching wise, performance wise.
For different subjects, there are
Subjects, see, curriculum, co-curriculum, extracurricular, everything is there also.
Sir, is it IIT? IIT?
No, IIT not for plus 1, plus 2, not to schools. That is only for higher studies, graduation.
Sir, can you tell something about your experience in space science?
No, you didn't answer. You are jumping. You don't want me to get an answer from you or you don't want this answer. I'll tell you it is called Dune.
Any of these schools in North India?
It is Dune school. Everybody agrees in India Dune school is the best school in India. I have got students who are struggling there and I had a counseling telling that no, they could not cope up. They want to run away from that school. So best school could not make best student sometime. And in South India, you know which is the best school? It is Chinmaya Vidyalaya in Coimbatore. I have got students from there also. Most of the schools I have got students who will come and tell me 11th class, I don't want to study further, I want to quit. I don't want this subject, I want to study something else. It's common. Don't get confused. Don't get tensed because you get less mark. You are not able to perform, you are not able to compete, you will not be able to perform well tomorrow. But this chance you will not get in your life again. 10th class, if you want to get the best marks, this is the right time to invest time. So do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So every one of you should do well. And it is not 85%. Today, if you think you are 85% with the method what I told, 100% you can get. I am not sure if somebody has got 20%, 30% mark, they will not improve more than maybe 10%.
Sir, and I meant that I know that I have the capability. If I study, I'll score 100 on 100.
You have to.
I have that ability, but I don't like sitting and studying in a place.
You don't have to
I
sit.
like keeping my hands
You
on,
can have a reclining.
creative.
You can have a reclining chair. You can have a swinging chair. You can be in a swing, or you can be in a lift, go up and down and study. Have you seen the movie called Lift Boy?
No, sir.
There is a beautiful movie, beta, Lift Boy, who failed in examination and then become a lift boy. And there is one teacher staying in the apartment. She started teaching that boy. During that lift, sitting in the lift to operate, he used to read and he became very good. Beautiful movie, Lift Boy. All teachers must see this. It's a highly motivating movie to understand how to guide a student to perform well. And she was never a teacher. That lady was never a teacher. Got it? So it's only triggering. The triggering is what I'm looking for. If you got triggered, I'm sure you will perform well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I got lot of children. I'll tell you, after a class, one boy came and hugged me and said, "Sir, I am going to meet you only after I become an IPS." He was an ordinary person whose father was working a coolie and he was never expecting that he can become an IPS. So it's only trigger. I'm sure if you get triggered and then you decide that I'm going to do it, you can do it. That's as simple as that.
Doctor, can you just throw some light on the camps that you organize for children?
See, for example, I had a student who was studying in Abu Dhabi, failed in 11th and 12th. When I came to Abu Dhabi for a general talk, the parent came and then said, he failed, now what do I do? I said, send him for a camp. 10 days he was in my camp. And he failed in maths. At the end of the camp, he said, I am going to be a professor of mathematics in my life. So what do we do in camp? It solves problems and then make them to become aspirant. What you think is incapable is what we will make them to be. I remember one boy who was scared of even traveling alone, going to the next room, and that was his problem. So what did I do? I sent for the camp. The camp was over. By returning back to Ernakulam from Kannur, I told his father is in the city. I told him, one of my friend is coming and then you have to wait in the railway station and receive him. And then please give him a lift to so and so place. And the father went and stayed in the railway station thinking that one of my friend he has to receive, and his son was landing in the railway station traveling alone from Kannur to Ernakulam. He was fearing to move from one room to another room before coming to the camp. He changed. So for each one of them, they come for camp, it is entirely different experience. I remember from Saudi Arabia, one boy who was having a lot of breathing problem. While attending to my camp, they said, this boy, if you take bath every day, he may have a breathing problem. As soon as the parents went, I asked him, do you know swimming? He said, no. I have got a cousin brother who is a great swimmer. I asked my cousin brother, next 3 days, this boy should learn swimming. Task is that. He was spending 6 hours in water and learned swimming. So some people think that I have a big problem. Is never a big problem. So we solve such problems. And some camps will be totally drama. Some camp will be totally music. Some camps will be totally dance. There are children who came and attended 20 different camps because none of the camps are same. Somebody asked me, what do I do in the camp? I myself don't know what do I do. It all depends on the camp. It's in a small village which was happening up to 2018. Probably this year onwards it is going to happen in Hyderabad, because now I am staying in Hyderabad. Earlier 5 years I did in Hyderabad, Kerala, and that program was called Nanam. If anybody is interested what happens there, you can look at it. What was happening in Hyderabad, 2010 to 13 I did in Hyderabad. Again I am coming back after a few years. And 11 to 13 the program was called the Shiksha Holiday Program. That was for senior people like engineering college students and all. So we teach different subjects. If somebody comes and says aerodynamics I want to learn, I teach aerodynamics. Somebody want to learn accountancy, probably I will teach accountancy. I am not teaching them how to drive in this route, this route, this route, this route. What I am teaching them is how to drive. How to learn is what I teach them. If I teach them how to learn, they learn everything with that trick. So it is not teaching maths, teaching physics, teaching chemistry. In the camp mainly I focus on bringing the capacity for learning. You learn the trick of learning. You learn the trick of teaching. So you associate, you share, you care others, you understand life skill. So cooking is taught, driving is taught sometime. In the hilly region when I drive, I have a driving dance. The car itself will run and thread. No, I am a crazy driver, I told you that. So it's all fun. It all depends on the group. You can see most of that activity what we do in that can be seen. We want children to become, expose themselves, make your print, invent yourself what you want. One of the game which I do is to understand what is that inside you which you yourself don't know. Somebody wanted to become a space scientist without even knowing what a space scientist to do. So we explain this is what a space scientist to do. It's all available everywhere. See, if you ask me what I was doing until just before this examination. In Coimbatore there is a beautiful, if any one of you have not seen, you must see that. There is a beautiful cook and he is running a hotel in which no oil, no boil. All the food is prepared without oil and without boiling. Idli, vada is also prepared without boiling, without oil. It's a beautiful mechanism. See, there are a lot of things in the world which we don't know. So I keep exploring. And that exploring mentality is what I want in my children. And if you are creative, if you are innovative, I used to get my teachers who taught me maths and physics in my school when I was a small, probably they did not taught me. They were there. 80-year-old teachers, 71-year-old teachers, they all come and then invest a lot of time with my students when I am in Kerala. They also will teach you. We have got science teachers who will come and show you science, not teach you science. They will show you science. So I imbibed a lot of such qualities from my teachers, conducted many camps. So it all depends on the group and what they want. But what we have is a lot of fun, a lot of thrilling experience, a lot of trekking, maybe getting drenched in rain, working in farm, learning agriculture, seeing the life skill is something what is to be done. Social skill, you must know how to ask questions, go and mix with everyone, and multiple different age groups so that you know how to mix with all of them. That's what we do. It's to be experienced. Very difficult to tell you what happens. Only when you are thirsty, you drink water, what taste you get, you will know, right? So similarly, unless you experience it, is difficult. All of them will cry while leaving from my camp after 10 days. What they do. All of them will hug and cry. They keep saying, in my whole life, I never knew 400 people. But 10 days in your place, we know the whole people in that village. I am sure in city, I will do much bigger and higher.
Sir, how is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, how is it possible to make idli and vada without oil and boiling?
See the YouTube, Amma. Zia, see. I was just learning it just before the session.
Yeah. Sir, can you like share your experience while in space science?
See, I am into remote sensing. We take pictures from satellite. And my job is, you have Google Map today in the map. Those days when the Google Map was not there, I was creating Google Map for the specialized applications in military. So you know Kargil war happened.
Yeah.
I was the person who gave all the maps for them. Do you know Veerappan was caught by police? I was the person who gave the maps for the police to catch Veerappan. Do you know there was Rajiv Gandhi assassination bomb blast? When the bomb blast, the whole thing is in fussy, dusty area. How do you know who is the person who blasted bomb? So I have to recreate the image. So my subject is image processing. So I am a specialist in image processing. 20 years my life was in computers looking at images, creating back if some images are not good. You imagine the whole earth is moving in 1500 km/h speed. The satellite is moving at another speed and it goes 14 times around earth. It is much more speeder, more than 30-40 times faster than the earth. You can imagine the earth is moving, camera is also moving in the satellite and taking picture, and that to 800 km away in this 140 kilometers is atmosphere. Will anything will be clean and clear to see? We need to process it.
Processing the images.
Yeah, we need to process it to get back to the place in which you are seeing today. That is what is image processing. So one of my specialization is image processing. Your camera is moving and the object is also moving. Then we know how to make this image perfect.
Okay.
And that too video, because satellite takes video pictures. So it's a huge job. So I'm a specialist in that. So I'm a specialist in computer science. I'm a specialist in image processing.
Yeah.
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 But all these require a lot of mathematics and physics and geography. Don't think that geography is not important in your life. Maths and physics is the greatest subject. After taking PhD in mathematics, when I joined the department, I was asked to learn social science first. If I don't know geography, I don't know anything. If I have to do some intelligence job, deciding which country has to be seen, what is the politics running, so that who will become my enemy, who will not become my enemy, I need to learn a lot of history. So I was asked to learn my 10th class, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th social science I relearned after my PhD in mathematics. Not mathematics, I did PhD in fluid mechanics. It's close to physics and mechanical engineering. Yeah. So every subject is important.
For artificial intelligence, how can we proceed?
It's all mathematics and computer science. We use lot of that in the image processing also. Artificial intelligence has got applications in many subjects, including business, transportation job, including in the medical industry, space science, nuclear science, everywhere. Artificial intelligence is also required in marketing and doing business also. In modeling also it is required. Now today I don't want to select a dress color. I will only tell, in so and so movie Venkatesh was acting in some movie which I don't remember, the color of the dress is this, I want that design to be and get me a dress of that. Now today artificial intelligence will go and search that in the whole bunch of images available and tell you, and that is given to the tailor to find out which design he has to make. Even including the tailors are using it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, what about entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship, you can see few of my classes on entrepreneurship. Anything you want to do it. Now I am doing an entrepreneurship in education. Now new education policy, all these schools are running, including Prema Muralidharan is running classes, I am sure, for only children from age 5 and above. The LKG, UKG, primary, nursery, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, they are all not being taken care of, most of the schools. 70% of the schools in India are not online. And most of the schools which are not online is getting closed. And we don't know what will happen next year. So I am doing an entrepreneurship now. I am starting clusters of small schools in different part of the country. for nursery, LKG, UKG. And there we are not just teaching the children, we are teaching teachers, parents and students. Because teachers also lost a job. And what I am teaching is a new technology, so I want them to get trained in that. Parents also have to do it because it's not full time. It's only sometimes they can come, it's a flexible time. Parents spend a lot of time with their children, parents and grandparents. Parents means grandparents also. So what I am doing is teachers, parents, students model. And that is called the TPS model. Teachers, parents, students model. So that's my DrTPS model is called the teachers, parents, students model, which is getting implemented. Yesterday was a good day for me because the first school started in Tirupati. And this Sunday I am training Kairali Vidya Bhavan in Hyderabad to start that. So I am going to teach teachers, parents, students, grandparents, all of them. Language skill, first 2 years. Next 2 years, learning skill. Next, your international standard of learning techniques. So this is an entrepreneurship. Anything which you start new. Just now I told you that cooking without oil, without boil. That's an entrepreneurship. Any new idea, any innovation, any design which you create yourself and then start as a business is entrepreneurship. Any new business is an entrepreneurship. Anything which somebody else does, you copy it and use it, that's also entrepreneurship. Right? That's a beautiful subject. You can see in Central University, I think the last lecture which I gave, which is recorded was that. Otherwise, few workshops. In SR, there is a beautiful incubation center. Asia's largest incubation center is in that university where I taught design thinking yesterday. I went there and taught that last year, entrepreneurship. Like the lot of things. Agriculture can be a job, business for you. Maybe tea shop can be also a business. I remember in during the COVID in Kerala, there was one tea shop fellow who gave tea in a cup which you can eat. So that you are not using a glass which is used by somebody else. And even paper cup, they don't want to waste that, and you want to be environmental. So only ice creams were given with a cup where you can eat. Now you get tea also where you can eat. It's all highly innovative. If you are innovative and you have business together, that is design thinking. The design thinking is applied in entrepreneurship highly. So when I said design thinking, it's also part of entrepreneurship. Beautiful question, Adil.
Is design thinking used for artificial intelligence?
Everywhere. Anything which you do, design thinking, including your kitchen. Yesterday I was giving an example where why your kitchen platform is not hydraulic, where you can change the height, because there may be 3 people cooking on the same platform where height is not adjustable. So you can think design thinking in that mode. So it's highly innovative, highly different. We do a lot of things. That's what I'm saying. In the camp, we do a lot of things which make each one of you a design thinker. That is the order of the day. Every company, MNC company, they want people who knows design thinking. One of my first student who learned design thinking from me finished her masters in MIT and then earning probably, I don't know how much, large amount salary in US.
Sir, normally when it comes to aviation industry, especially like pilots and all, there is no like a fixed path, like what you should take in 11th.
It is there. Adil, you are wrong. In maths, physics, chemistry is compulsory for +1, +2 to become a pilot. And then you should have minimum 1.5 crore Indian rupees. The 2 criteria. Otherwise, maths, physics, chemistry and join Indian Air Force. If you are an Indian. That is the easiest and shortest path.
So we need maths, physics and chemistry.
100%. Otherwise, you cannot become a pilot. And that too good mark. That itself is not enough. You need to have good English communication skill, logical reasoning, presence of mind, analytical skill. All these are essential. If you are not qualified in NDA or equivalent examination, don't even think of becoming a pilot. I'll tell you, when I went to Ajman or Dubai or Ajman, somewhere in one talk in a radio, and after that one maid called me and then said, "Sir, you have lot of contacts, will you be able to give a job for my son?" I said, "Ask him to send biodata." When I got the biodata, he has got a pilot license. There are a lot of people with the pilot license, they don't get a job today. Because there are a lot of private companies who will give you a pass certificate in pilot, but you don't have every qualification to become a pilot. Unless you have sufficient number of flying hours in your credit, no aircraft is going to make you as a pilot. So that is why best profession is pilot if you go through a Air Force training and then come back. They are paid 3 times higher than the normal commercial pilot who jumps into the pilot job.
So you're saying military?
Air Force, military.
Military Air Force.
Yeah, Air Force is that where pilots are there. Navy also has pilots, but they will have smaller aircraft. I was part of combined defense services, so I know all this clearly. Okay, the military also has got small aircrafts, but they don't become commercial pilots. I have got some of my students who wanted to become pilot. Forcefully I said all these, but they did not listen. Now they are running small helicopters, which is like a taxi for the cinema stars to move from Cochin to Coimbatore or Ooty or all that. I have got a lot of students in different field, so they are also there.
So the risk worth it?
Pardon?
So like when we talked about it, it's a field with lot of risk. So is the risk worth it?
It worth it, provided you have that ability. And it is not a small investment if you want to get a private license and then go to abroad, get number of working hours, number of flying hours, because understand each flying costs a lot. So training is also like that. Most of the trainings are done with artificial intelligence and all that, visual, audio, visual, multimedia setup. You get the training and all that. But real flying has to happen. That is a bigger costly affair. And you will get an assistant job. There are a lot of people, when Kingfisher closed, I know many people who lost a job. They couldn't get any other thing because Kingfisher was appointing a lot of people. They appointed many people. See, everywhere depends on which company is flying. Indian Airlines, maybe you require to prove that you are a very senior person, then they will get. But maybe some other cheaper airlines will post few people as assistants, 2 people as assistants for some time, then get them the benefit of flying for longer time as an assistant, then they will put you at a higher. So if you become a good pilot, if you are qualified and good, you get good salary. But it takes longer time. Not that simple, I am saying. Most of the good jobs are not simple. Even to become a good cook in the president's palace, you need to have that ability. See the movie Chef. You will learn how the American president's chef, how did they get trained, how influential they are and all that. Yeah.
I know that movie.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. I am a movie lover, so I keep seeing all the movies. Movies are my best education.
The last question, I mean, it may not be a question. Yeah. Along with this aviation industry, sir, one course or one type of the new, job opportunities coming up in the market, which is called drone pilot.
Yeah.
So just if you can highlight on that.
It is not actually when people understand any course which you do with government institutions, they stand longer. Any private institution starting small programs, most of the Gulf students, they keep asking, this course is good, that course is good. If you look at it, it is never in any government institutions. Probably what will happen, it's thrilling for learning that there are few pockets of opportunities available. Then they think that is the next to tomorrow's job. It is not that important. It has applications. Movie makers require it, policing require it, adventurous people require it, travels require it. So most of them will start such small institutions which run different programs. I suggest meritorious good students don't jump into any such programs advertised by any private agencies. Look at whether some government institutions are running it or not. If they are running, government institutions will run programs only when it has got a longer standing, a larger scope. And any course which you do, if you are a good student, go only when you have got provision for higher studies. If you are doing certificate program, diploma program, finished, that's the end of it. If you are doing graduation, look at whether you can do post graduation, research scope is there or not. Then that courses will be always good.
Yeah, so Deep, I think we've exhausted quite a lot of time of Dr. GPS. I know he's been extremely generous and magnanimous to say that, not even look at a watch or say, because unlike the webinars and the conferences that I have been seeing of late, where, I've stopped going for any webinar now because now it's just the Holocaust and it's so very monotonous looking at the time and fixing something. I think Dr. GPS has given his life experiences, and most of it, I'm sure as teachers, at least we somewhere down the lane might have thought, I wish we had him as our teacher. I regret it, and that's why I continue to learn, and I always tell him, look, I really want to know you more. I want to come in that and take the path, but then priority sometimes, pulls us back. But if we are children, and that's an earnest appeal to all my children here, please visit his blogs. Please look at all the information with Dr. TPS. Very effectively, the connection that he is building with his students is his trump card. And I think that is something you guys have now been blessed. Thanks to Dr. TPS. He has come in not once, now this is the second time. We will try and see more of him, because I think he will have a great impact on you. And so we are starting our grade 11 and 12 this year. So these are our first batch of children getting into the courses in our school. I'm sure they will have a lot to ask from you. So parents, teachers and students, whenever you think you need your advice in being able to properly choose a career for you also, I think there can never be a second person than him. So please follow him. And I say follow him. If you look at hear his certain lectures, you will understand that this is the person you want to talk. So first watch that, understand what it is, understand it properly, and then have your doubts, and I'm sure he will not hesitate to help you get that career path, which is now very crucial. And as he said, 10th is only an admission to get to 11 and 12, but then again 11 and 12, please choose courses taking from him. Choose courses that has a future. Choose courses wisely. And that is why I think even we have selected 17 subjects where we thought that, including entrepreneurship, because these are the fields that will lead you to have research and will give you your own money in terms of, becoming entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is such a beautiful course. And these days, when you have all the wisdom, I think you want to make yourself feel wanted, because opportunities are not going to come anymore. You have to turn into solution providers, and that's what he was saying. So as a solution provider, what would be my road ahead should be what your mantra is. And I think Dr. GPS has done a fantastic job of this session today. Open light. Yes, it started off with the 10th results, or preparation of board exams. However, motivation and confidence is from within. So unless the light from within doesn't burn, none of us can reach anywhere where we should go. So the desire to be somebody in life, the desire to become a legend, the desire to say, I came, I conquered. It's not I came, I saw, I went. So when you start conquering yourself, you will understand that we haven't even grasped 0.01% of what so many people in this world, and Dr. TPS is a super example of knowledge. And then I just have to salute him and say, we are so blessed to have you, Doc, and we need your blessings. These children need your blessings. As teachers, we need your guidance, and we will definitely try and take all the value points that have been added today as a teacher, our role. Thank you so much for spending.
Premaji, last 2020, I couldn't do the camp. So what I did was a virtual camp. So I've circulated to a few of my people who contacted me on WhatsApp saying that there is a virtual camp. I had 150 children who registered for that. It's all free. And then what was done was I started giving assignments. As the assignments improved, after some time the assignment was to cook something and show a video, send it, then only you can continue next week. I think 80% of the people dropped out because they don't want to do something new in their life. But I remember the eligibility was grade 8 and above. We had up to engineering college, medical students also. But then who continued along with me, that camp was called Moksha, M-O-K-S-H. One of the students from Abu Dhabi used to send me, even last week I got a set of questions from her syllabus and then keep saying give me answer for this. So what I did was I used to discuss and then give the answers. All of them I recorded and then posted also. So there are few children who love to learn and then keep continuing. So all these are only to keep a relationship in which you have some questions, I'm sure there are a lot of questions. There are questions on border issues, there are questions on Myanmar, there are questions on wave theory, there are questions in physics, satellite, everything they will put in one paper and then tell me this. So anybody could become part of that question answers. That's what I do.
Wonderful,
right?
wonderful. I think my students will also use this opportunity to get to know you better. And I'm sure, like you said, a few teachers are connected. I'm going to also see that my students are going to get connected with you, and I'm sure they'll benefit from it.
So thank you.
So
God
much,
bless you.
You
Enjoy.
so much. It was an honor.
It was nice to be with you always. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Love
you,
you all.
teachers. Thank you, parents. Thank you, sir. Thank
Love
you
you
so
all.
much. My students, please make everything possible. It's you who have to do it. Nobody is going to push you to do it. Neither your parents nor any external force. The force must come from within. And we can only set these platforms so that spark gets triggered. And I hope that DrTPS has already triggered the spark in you. Make good use of it, and let's all benefit from everybody. Thank you so much. Thank
Just search DrTPS. DR, teachers, parents, students, TPS.
Sir,
Yeah.
There's somebody.
I have a doubt. I actually came late.
Yeah.
So I have. Actually, my name is Ajman, and I'm studying in grade 10.
Yeah.
So 11th, I took IB curriculum, and I have to take 6 subjects.
Yeah.
So I took math, English, psychology, French, computer, and business management.
Yeah.
So wanted to know what's your advice so that if I go to India, what can I take?
Can we have a discussion on to find out what is your strength, what is that you want? I will have few questions for you to answer.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Always you can get back to me on a WhatsApp and then we can have a Google Meet and have a discussion on individually. I'll definitely help you. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll share the sir's contact detail in chat box.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Love you all. God bless you. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces. Most of my teacher students are also here. Yeah. Good.